What's up, guys? I think I found your next enduro bike. So this is my 2019 Fezzari La Sal Peak. You're probably sitting there wondering, what the hell is Fezzari? So Fezzari is a mail bike order company, started in 2006. It's in Linden, Utah. Small company, and they make all sorts of bikes, from cross-country mountain bikes, road race bikes, and now long travel 29er enduro bikes. This is the La Sal Peak Elite. Comes in different build kits, but that doesn't really matter because you can do a customization of any parts you want on this bike. You can basically just buy the frame and they can add the parts too, so you can choose your fork, shock, and etc. But I started with the Elite build and I tweaked it from there. If you want to see the full spec on my bike, I recommend you go see my new bike day video. I'll leave the link in the description below, but it gets in more detail what exact parts are on my La Sal Peak here. But just to go over the broad spectrum here, full carbon frame. It's got the Rockshox Lyric RC2 fork, Rockshox Super Deluxe rear shock, and SRAM GX drivetrain, but with the XL1 cassette. And right here, code RSC brakes. Pretty good. So this, what the? I'm missing a bar end. Oh, that's weird. It's missing bar ends. All right, so let's talk geometry figures. This is a modern enduro bike. You know, with these new trends coming out with steep seat tube angles and slack head tube angles and long reach. The La Sal Peak's got a 470 millimeter reach. It's got a 65-degree head tube angle. Chainstay is 435 millimeters long, and a bottom bracket height of, let me check, I forgot. I got it written down. Oh, 340 millimeters high. It also has a 78-degree seat tube angle. That's right, you heard me correctly, 78 degrees. So all these numbers don't mean crap. Let's go see how this bike feels on the trail. It's a nice day out finally. Let's go rip. Alright guys, welcome to Pine Hills in Plymouth, Mass. I'm going to do something different today for this bike review. Set up climbing up the generic little fire road I do, and then drop back in and do all the downhills. I'm actually going to climb the techier stuff first in the middle of the trail center here, because I want to see how this suspension works over bumpy rocks, not just smooth terrain. You know, this is a big enduro bike, so you're going to bring it to big mountain areas. All right, so we're making our way up slowly. Feels pretty comfortable. Punch up this rock. I forgot to say I'm on a size large frame. I'm 5'10", the 31 inseam, and this size large fits perfect. With the effective top tube being pretty short, under 600 millimeters, because of the steep seat tube angle. Feels nice and small when you're pedaling it like this up climbs, which is I think what you want. And when you drop the seat down, you really feel that nice reach of 470 millimeters. So best of both worlds. And being so steep, the seat tube angle, you're right at the top of these bars. You do feel a little top of the bike. You're not like inside of it feeling. Even on my stump jumper short travel, when you're pedaling that sucker around, you feel like you're one with the bike. You're kind of inside of it. So just an observation. So just pedaling right along. Shock and the fork are in the open position. Here's a nice steep part right here. Front end staying planted. Ooh, come on. Yes. Yes. Really good traction. What I noticed is this bike's got awesome small bump sensitivity. Like, the tire's always sticking to the ground, as it should as a big enduro bike. But you know, the rear end's a horse link design, like Specialized.
FSR suspension, and how they set up the kinematics or whatever you want to call it on the bike on the rear end is that it's supposed to be really progressive. So the whole shock doesn't have to be tuned to make the bike perform. So there's a light tune on the bike, which makes the shock just any bump you hit, it moves. But because of the kinematics of the rear suspension, here we go. It can, here we go. It can support that light tune. That makes sense. For 150 millimeters of travel, this thing is nice. It definitely pedals better than when I had the stumping the short long travel configuration. So that's something to say. That's just a trail bike. All right. The moment we're waiting for. So the bike climbs well. I know it's not the gnarliest trails I have here in Plymouth, but it's gonna do. And I can get a feel of a bike. You know, bikes I've ridden here and then bring it to Highland Bike Park, run some gnarly terrain on that. It's a good test. I can set up the bike here and bring it there, and it works well on the steep stuff. So I think it's a good test. So we're gonna start off, do some little chunky stuff, and then maybe hit some flowier trails, some tight flowy ones, and see how this thing corners. You know, it's so raked out there, 65-degree head tube angle. They had to put a 44 millimeter offset fork to bring that front end back in, so it should still rail turns. So I'm excited to see. Ah, that berm's all mud. Kind of stinks, a little mud. Patches everywhere, but trails are in pretty good condition. All right, see how she drops, 3-foot drop. Oh, like butter, wow. Oh, you could just nuke on this bike going downhill. It is just staying planted. Balance. Drop. Yep. Woohoo! God dang, this bike, it just sticks to the ground. I'm gonna skip the bridge today and go over the chunkier, rollier stuff. God, makes it just feel whew, easy. So last time I rode the bike, I had it at about 27% sag, around those parts, or those numbers. Oh, feels good. But it felt a little stiff. So I put it to 30 and it made all the difference. Oh, this bike's so quiet. All right, we got a drop coming up. This one I definitely bought the stump jumper on. Oh my gosh. It actually dumbs down the trail too much. At least my local trails, which is good for racing, I guess. I want to make it as smooth as possible. Woohoo! God, it's hard to get off the ground, but it's so planted. One thing that's kind of annoying me though is, whoop, you have to drop the seat tube or the dropper post all the way down. Even if you have it halfway down, it gets in the way since the seat tube angle is so steep. The seat's just like right there. Whoa, skinny bridge. So we just made it to the jumps. I really want to see how this thing jumps, but it's a sloppy mess. Snow up there, run-ins all messed up. The landing is chewed up. So we'll come back, we'll revisit that. But I'm sure she sends. All right, so we just entered the flowy tight single track area, a couple pedally sections in between. See how this puppy turns in the loam, and see how she sprints through the flats. Oh yeah, it's glued to the ground. Woo! Oh yeah. So even these little flat parts like here, they're twisty. The turning's very intuitive. For being so slack, it front end bites down. You don't have to really lean forward that much. And it pedals really nice. Man, I'm impressed. For a horse link, there's minimal bob. It's just enough to give you traction. I mean, almost feels VPP-like. God, this thing just pedals nice. Got a little bridge action. Steep. Especially rolls on the rocks. Short work of that. All right, sprint. Oh, really nice. God dang. Turns are telepathic. Just roosting dirt. Oh man, so much confidence in the turns. I know the dirt is good, but woo, coming in hot. All right, right over here, come this way. Little bypass, and you roll it. Holy shit. Woo! Yeah! Steep. Nice drop. It's like a mini sidewinder. Yes.
All right, guys, welcome back to the bike basement. Let's talk about this Fezzari. Let's talk about the pros. So, obviously, it's a direct to consumer bike. There's no middleman, so you are getting a lot of bike for the money. Comes with high-end Rockshox suspension. You know, really nice Code RSE brakes. I got the Elite model, and among other things. But if you did the same spec in a Santa Cruz or Specialized brand, it definitely costs you about $2,000 more, if not more. What I like about the Fezzari, you can customize it how you want it. You can pick and choose the parts that you want. So, you know, I didn't want their dropper posts they were offering, so I put the PMW dropper post on there. I got a 40 millimeter stem. You know, I wanted a SRAM GX drivetrain with the X01 cassette because you're going to bang up derailleurs at downhill parks, but I wanted the weight savings of the X01 cassette. So you can customize that like how you want it. Also, if you already have parts or wheels at home like I do, like I had these MV wheels I could put on here, I didn't need those, the wheels it comes with, so they just deducted that money off and I got a cheaper bike for that. Another cool thing about the Fezzari is its steep seat tube angle. It being so steep, this bike can climb up anything. It's positions you right over the pedals, so your legs just maximize its power. Your weight's over the front end, so the front end's not wandering. But that steep seat tube angle of 78 degrees is also one of its drawbacks. So let's talk about the cons. So with that seat tube angle being so steep, it is right over the bottom bracket. So if you have this seat post all the way up, the dropper seat post, that is, and you're just doing like, you know, you're punching up a rock and just rolling off it real quick, you got to have that seat out of the way. So a lot of the, you know, the stuff I do in Pine Hills, I don't even drop the seat, or I'll drop it a little bit just to get it out of the way a little bit, but I'll just pop up, drop down, and I want to, you know, get on the power on the pedals seated. Can't really do that with this bike. When you're doing a steep roller, if that seat post is even remotely up, it's going to buck you over the bars. Also, doing like drops and stuff like that, even with the seat post dropped all the way down, This is just probably, I need to get used to it, but even with the seat post all the way down, when you're trying to get that weight back, behind the saddle, it's kind of like gets in the way, but you just gotta like spread your legs a little bit and shove your weight back and you should be good. So the looks of the bike are a little weird. I don't know if you agree with me on this. If Fezzari could do something with this top tube, it'd probably be a better looking bike. It's got this funky little pop up, which I really don't care for, and then it goes down and it's got this little triangle right here, and it's not the best looking bike, but actually in real life it looks a lot better than on pictures, and it's kind of growing on me. So I don't know if that's a con, but the color scheme is really nice. This gray cement color with the red lyric fork, it pops. It looks really good, sharp. You got this nice carbon Fezzari frame, and then you have this chintzy like guard right here. Like, look at this. It's the kind of plastic you get out of the gumball machines at Walmart. Those little toys that come in the gumball machines. It's like that. It's like cheaper than cheap. Under the down tube here, you got one, and I need a nice bash guide protector. Wow, I need some out west mountains or some bike parks to really hammer this thing, but I can tell already it's gonna be fast. Just a couple trails I did in Pine Hills, the rocky stuff and the really steep stuff. It is so stable. With that 65-degree head tube angle, you can just roll down stuff and not even think about it. Stuff that I usually drop on my other bikes, I just rolled down it because I wanted to try. Just pitched it, didn't feel like I was gonna go over the bars or anything, but I had to make sure that seat post was out of the way. It's got a nice short chainstay, so it turns really well on those ascents. When I was doing those loamy turns in and out, it just carved it right up. Actually, I think it turns better than my Stump Jumper short travel, which is surprising. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this review and found it informative. Give it a thumbs up if you like this review, and subscribe to see more. I'll see you next time, and peace.